Well, ladies and gentlemen, before we start on this video, I gotta apologize because I had a conversation with the king, and he said, "Hey, boy, come here." I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Why you spazzing?" I said, "Cause, I did this. I went and got really good people, Lord, that done did healing ministries and this, and nobody won't hit the like button." And he said, "Who told you that the views count the way you think they count in this world? The views count in my realm." And I'm like, okay, all right. So I want to apologize to y'all for spazzing. But I want you to understand, not hitting the like button makes me spaz because I work hard at this. There's a whole system that works hard to get you this content. Nonetheless, I'm happy because he explained something to me, and I'm going to explain it to you. You see, when we do these things, irregardless about how we feel about them, is counted as obedience in righteousness. So I get to get older and more mature in his kingdom. And I'm happy. I want to be old. I want to be old and gray like this in the kingdom, which is really hard to do because how do you get age in a realm where there is no time? How are there 24 and 4 elders in a realm where there's no time that say, holy, 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 holy? How are they elders when there's no time? You never thought about that. The point I'm making is this. Apology. I'm sorry. I won't be spazzing out on you again. At least in the next 10 minutes, I won't be, hopefully. All right, guys, let's get the ball rolling.
Hold on one second. We're about to get to the bottom of this, ladies and gentlemen. This don't make no sense whatsoever. Welcome to the Dark Waters channel, where we explore mysteries, figure out the truth, dive into politics, and anything else you want to know about. That's what we're doing over here, baby. Let's go.
Now, if you've been following me on multiple channels, then you know that I cover news from a political standpoint, but also from a spiritual standpoint. And it's important that we grasp these things, what's happening right in front of us. So God, the Bible says it's God who appoints kings to nations and removes kings from nations, appoints rulers from nations and removes rulers from nations. But what is a ruler, or what is a king? And is a king a physical person over a territory? Is a king a physical person over a territory? It's important for us to grasp this concept when we see what's going on in America, because as you see what's happening as it pertains to the Somalians in this nation, there are kings being removed in the realm of the spirit. That's what's happening. Kings are being removed. Hold on, I need me a little bit of water. And so when you see all the news coming out of Somalia, it means in the exposure of Somalia, the uncovering of Minnesota, understand that king has been dethroned. The king has been dethroned in that area. You get it. The real way to defeat those territorial spirits that rule over those territories is to call for the Lord to dethrone them. There's kings that sit over the FBI, there's kings that sit over the CIA, and all those kings, those entities resist because they're illegal and they behave in illegal manners. And so when you see this crumbling as it pertains to this issue, you're watching a dethroning live in action. People have been praying for this to happen, and the Lord answered the prayer. That's what you're seeing when you see this in the news. That's what you're witnessing. You see, every news story is a reflection of something that happened in the realm of the spirit. It's happening all day long. Every day, these changes are happening. But because the average individual hasn't been able to taught how to read the spiritual news, then they sit there and they be like, God doesn't do anything. Why is he letting these people do these things to us? And he's sitting there saying, what are you talking about? I just hit these people that were smuggling children with a whole flash flood. What are you talking about?
He has been investigating the state. They've uncovered at least $1 million in PPP fraud just 2 days in. Several of the whistleblowers in Minnesota have also told lawmakers they believe the total amount of fraud could total up to more than $8 billion. Governor Tim Walz, who is up for re-election, is under fire for all of this happening under his watch. But he says they have paused these programs. They've brought in outside auditors to get an idea of how far-reaching this fraud was. They're taking steps to keep it from happening again. And he's defending his management of the state while also taking shots at Republicans and the president.
And in spite of the headwinds we're up against, Minnesota ranks economically, economic growth, happiness, number of people insured, education levels, near the very top. So I'll tell you what, I have no interest in having this state look like Oklahoma or Mississippi. And if folks are going to commit crimes here, thinking because our generous spirit and our programs that we have is going to give them some kind of cover, they are sadly mistaken.
Yeah, Minnesota is also now home to the single largest pandemic fraud scheme in the country. And Republicans argue that Walz and other Democrats opened the door to this.
Can you guess what the makeup of that king of that territory is that's being dethroned? I mean, just think for a second. Think about the man who's in leadership. And think about his tendencies. Think about his behavior patterns. Think about what you see manifest from him. And understand that that spirit that partners with him, it functions through him. So you take on the tendencies of the spirit that you function with. And that's the craziest thing about people who in partnership with the Spirit. Like, if you are a Christian, you should be in partnership with the Holy Spirit. So you should become like him because he functions through your vessel. You should think like him. You should behave like him. And when you get out of hand, he should be like, hey, dial it back, dial it back, dial it back. He do it to me all the time. Because I'll spaz. He'd be like, hey, son, dial it back. Chill. I know you're aggravated. Chill. Relax, James. Relax. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Like, it's okay, dude. Chill. When you see a Tim Walz or when you see a J.B. Pritzker, what do you see? When you see the manifestation of what's happening in in little Somalia, in the land of 10,000 lakes, which is Minnesota, which I find it mighty peculiar that the pirates of the Marine Kingdom move into the land of 10,000 lakes, and nobody wants to talk about that either. But when you see this corruption, when you see the perversion, when you see him marching down the street with pride flags with kids in front of him. Oh, you didn't see that, right? You didn't see that. Hold on, let me show you. Under the sea, under the sea. Man, this is so easy. It's so damn easy. When you look at it, when you really, really pay attention to it, it's simple. This is the most aggravating thing about this to me. This is the most disgusting thing about me. It's simple. It's simple. The solution to the problem is simple. But here he is, Tim Walz. Let's be honest. These were the real stars of the Walz for Governor Pride Parade this Sunday. The Walz for Governor Pride Parade this Sunday. These were the real stars. These were the real stars right here, ladies and gentlemen, according to Tim Walz, with his little jazz hands as he waves. Hello, everybody. I'm Tim Walz. I'm Tim Walz. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. My name is Tim. My name is Tim Walz, and I'm the governor of Minnesota. Somebody get me some. Hello, somebody give me some spring water. Give me some spring water so I can put my methylene blue in it. I'm Tim Walz. Yeah. It's simple, ladies and gentlemen. It's super simple, ladies and gentlemen. Let me get a little bit of that methylene blue from the one and only Alex Jones. Let me get a little of that methylene. Now, I'm hardcore with my methylene. You're supposed to mix it in with a lot of water. but I mix it in with a little water and then I hit it. But it's really simple. It's super duper simple. Super simple when you look at it. The land of 10,000 lakes, right there by the water, Somalians coming in, pride parade, and all these different things. You can see who the king is of that territory. And that king is from under the sea, under the sea. And that king loves perversions. And that king right now is about to be bankrupted. You can see it. It's right there in front of you, ladies and gentlemen. Under the sea, under the sea. Hey, I got to go and apologize to y'all before I go further. Because the past couple of days, 48 hours, I've been raging. And the Lord told me I was wrong. And I get it. And I had to, he know how I am. I don't believe in being mediocre. I don't believe in mediocre results. I just don't. And to me, to bring on some of the most prominent Christian figures, men who went to foreign nations and healed people in the name of Jesus, and they get no views, is ridiculous. But then he had to sit me down and say, who said you got no views? I said, that's what it said right there. He said, who said you got no views? You got the views that counted. And I get it. His count and the world's count is two completely different things. I get it. But that don't mean that I don't appreciate the fact that people don't want to hit the like button and that they reject Jesus at every turn. But then that's what he said they would do. So it is what it is. I want to apologize for raging. I may rage out 5 minutes later from here because it pisses me off to the highest point of pissivity. That people want, it's like people want to possess knowledge, but the knowledge that they possess is worthless. And then they want to parade this worthless knowledge around. Everybody's like, oh, he's so smart. He knows everything. Oh, he knows that. It's worthless. Freaking worthless. Back to Tim Walz. And we are now calling all of these governors of these blue cities and blue states the water boys. That's Gavin Newsom is a water boy. J.B. Pritzker is a water boy. Brandon Johnson is a water boy. Tim Walz is a water boy. If you are a mayor of a blue city or a governor of a blue city or a blue state, you was a water boy and a water girl. Now back to Minnesota. The land of 10,000 lakes. Ruled by jazz hand water boy. I said earlier, I said, hey, there's a spirit that functions through men. Like I did that. Matter of fact, I'm going to start doing this like a battle rapper. I'm just going to start having more fun. Lord, you're going to have to let me have some fun because I'm going to go crazy if I don't have some fun. So I'm just going to do what I do. The land of 10,000 lakes, Minnesota, fraud, Ilhan Omar, marrying her brother, perversions, homosexuality, Somalians, rape, murder, all this other crazy stuff that's going on. Theft of everything. They stealing everything. If it ain't bolted down, they done stole it in Minnesota. And then you look at the leader of Minnesota, jazz hand Tim Walz. Hi, my name is Tim Jazz Hands. Jazz Hands Tim Walz walking around and being prideful. And you wonder, what the hell is this thing? And I was telling you that those are spirits that partner with men. And that spirit is a spirit called Rahab. Now, Rahab is mentioned in the Bible maybe 2-3 times. And it's in Psalms, which, I'm going to encourage you guys, if you really want to get a deep understanding of the mysteries of God, you must read the Psalms. But in Psalms 89:10, it talks about God crushed the head of Rahab. And then in Psalms 87:4, it talks about Rahab, Egypt being like Rahab. And then in Isaiah, it talks about God cutting Rahab into pieces. And Rahab is not the woman we're talking about from the Bible. Rahab is a spirit. Now, it was described as a monster in the Bible. He was described as a monster, a sea monster in the Bible. But he was prideful, he was arrogant, and he was boastful. Now, when you go into the Jewish studies of it, which let me be clear with you. I'm giving you this understanding of it from their traditions because it's their written traditions and oral traditions. But don't go over into that stuff. I'm just going to tell you, don't go over into that stuff. Because you're going to find yourself going down a rabbit hole that leads back towards all the other gods that they worship when they turned away from the Lord. All right? I need you to understand this. Some of the most gangster magic you're going to run into come from over there. People with little red ribbons on their wrists. People, got a little blood on the table and they be tapping the blood and putting the blood on everybody's head like this. Just a little blood. Not a whole lot, just a little. I ain't going to tell you who blood it is, but you walk up and they do like this, they tap, and then they put it on your forehead. And then next one. But I ain't getting to all that. That's not the point. The most important point is that Rahab was a prince. Now, you understand from the Bible, from our lessons, that a prince is someone who has authority and rulership, but they don't have no kingdom, right? So a prince does not have a territory. So Rahab was a prince. And Rahab, the prince, was rebellious and didn't listen to God. And he had actually had beef with the waters. That's the craziest part about it. He had beef with the waters. And God had to slay him. And so when you start talking about the spirit of Rahab, the spirit of Rahab is proud, it's arrogant, and it's boastful. The spirit of Rahab you see it in Tim Waltz. When you listen to him, what's the best way to explain this? When you have your spiritual antennas on, right? They go like this. They go bzz, 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 bzz. They're doing like this the whole day. They're scanning, right? When you listen to men, you can tell what spirit's there because then when it's something bad, your radars go. Bzz. You can sense it. It's almost like you pick it up. For the average person, it manifests as, say, people like, man, that guy turns my stomach. Your spirit, it gets agitated. But for me, it's like they're always scanning because the Lord wants me to scan and hear what people are saying. Then they go, why am I talking about this? Because the reality of it is the war that we're fighting against spiritual entities and spiritual realms, most people are trying to fight them in the natural. You don't defeat them in the natural. You defeat them in the spirit realm, and the victory manifests in the natural. What we're seeing right now is God overthrowing Rahab and all his people in Somalia. You see Donald Trump opening up, doing open heart surgery on America. And imagine America being a body and Minnesota being an artery. And imagine all the stuff in Minnesota being a blood clot. And imagine Donald Trump taking a little thing, a little metal thing that they take with the tube, and it goes in, and he's standing there trying to keep his hand still because there's no robot that can do this. No robot can do this. Only a man can do this. And God is like, okay, Donald, listen. You're going to move in slowly, Donald. Donald's like, okay, because I'm the greatest. I'm the bestest, most surgical president in the world. He's like, shut up, Donald. Pay attention. But you have to agree I'm the best. Be quiet, Donald. We're getting close. We're getting close. Okay, Donald, slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Okay, now we're coming up on Minnesota, Donald. And we've got it. We've got the blood clock, Donald. Now turn on the vacuum. Slowly hit the button. Now, I want you to rotate it counterclockwise, Donald, and we're going to suck that whole blood clot out. But you can't hit the walls of the artery. If you hit the walls of the artery, Donald, then what's going to happen is the patient's going to die. We have to get this blood clot out of this nation. before the whole nation dies. Donald, slow down, Donald. Donald, slow down. Miss Donald's like, Lord, I have this under control. Donald, I'm going to smack you in the back of your head if you don't slow it down a little bit, Donald. And then together, they're sucking the blood clot out of the heart of America. Meanwhile, America, the patient, is over there half sleep, half woke because the anesthesia done wore off, or better yet, not the anesthesia's worn off. A whole damn demon done woke up, and the people in Minnesota, the liberal people, the liberal arm is like this, trying to reach around. The elbow is not awake, the forearm is not awake, the shoulder's not awake, but the hand is doing like this, trying to reach and pull cords and shit, and pull things down and reaching around like the thing, and just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna stop you. I'm gonna stop you. And then everybody looks at the hand, because that's what it is a hand. It's not the leg, it's not the arm, it's not the chest, it's not the foot. Everybody look at the hand going like this, and they're like, oh, the hand is so tough. The defeat of these people happened in another realm. Does not happen in this realm. And that's why I got so aggravated, because, and I have to remember, and I want you to remember this. You know, everybody and their mama's not going to pray. Everybody and their mama's not going to understand this. Everybody and their mama not going to get it. And you don't really need everybody to get it. There's a lot of people who are fools. Biblical were versions of the word fool. And you ain't going to make them stop being fools. Only thing you can do is get it to the people who will do something with it. Get it to the people who will do something with it. You heard me? Are you one of the people that's going to do something with this? Am I wasting my time? Are you one of the people that's going to hit the like button? Are you one of the people who going to do something about this with this knowledge? Or are you one of the people that's going to be like, oh, I scrolled through it because he taking too long to talk about it. He jokes too much. And oh my goodness. Oh my. Before I started rapping, if your people heard my story, I bet you'll be like, oh my goodness. Hit the like button. I'm out of here.